welcome to my channel. Thank you so very much for watching. So this video, as the title says, is going to be all about my photo gear. That is probably the number one question that I get is, how did you take this picture? How did you learn photography? What? You took that by yourself? And yes, a lot of my pictures I do take by myself just because, one, if I have an idea in my head, I need to get it done right then and there. I don't have time to wait for someone to hold the camera, hold my phone, whatever it may be. So I'm going to make it happen. And typically, I have such a vision in my head, but I'm not very good at articulating that vision. So it's probably best for me to just take it by myself. So, the first thing, number one rule. You can get every single piece of gear that I'm going to show you and not be able to take photos like me or photos like an actual professional photographer. It's not always about the gear that you have. It really is about you learning photography. There's an art, there's a science behind it. And I urge all of you to use the best resource that we have. Google and Pinterest. Honestly, Pinterest is pretty good too. And if you guys want, you can head over to my Pinterest. I have a whole board that is dedicated just to photography. And I got a whole lot of pins dedicated to photography. But before we dive into that, for those of you who are new, thank you so much. Happy hands, jazzy hands. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please go ahead and subscribe. I've got some really amazing content down the pipeline, so I would really love to share it with you. Subscribe, comment, talk to me. I love engaging with all of you. So I have been officially blogging for about 9 years. I started my blog though in end of 2008. And then I deleted all those posts, and then I started back up in 2011, and that's, I guess, my official start date of blogging. I don't consider myself an influencer. I do consider myself a blogger, as I love actually hosting my own website and not dealing with just throwing things on Instagram and having that be my end-all be-all. But again, this is not about that. There will be a video about that, though. But there is a blog post, so head over to the blog and check it out. But you didn't come here for me to, you came here to find out about all the good stuff. So let's get this started. So the funny thing is I had all intentions of using this camera, which is my Canon G7X Mark II. And this is what I use for most of my videos. This is my vlogging channel. But unfortunately, as I started to do the video, I had so many bloopers that the battery died. So now I'm actually using my Canon 80D to shoot this. But this bad boy here, hopefully you guys can see it. That's my Canon G7X. I use this primarily for video. It retails for about maybe $650. I can't quite remember. About $650. This is a monster beast of a camera. I do some stills with it, and I will actually show you some photos of when I actually use this for images. So here's one, and here's another one that were used with this bad boy. I would say my biggest thing that I love about it is the whole selfie mirror. I don't know if you guys can see that. So it's so easy to take pictures of yourself. The only thing is, it is a wide lens, and because of that, it does distort your face just a little bit. So anything that's as close to the lens as possible is going to look a little bigger. So in my case, my nose looks huge. I usually fix that in Lightroom, but I don't love this too much for selfies. I prefer to use it as an actual, like somebody else, holding it, or I like to bounce it off and reflect it off of a mirror if I'm taking like an outfit shot. But for videos, this is amazing. The lens that I have, well, let's talk about the camera that I have right now. So the camera that I'm recording on is my Canon 80D. So this one is in the moderate. It's not quite a professional series of Canon, but it's not part of the Rebel series as well for beginners. This one, I love this camera. I started off on a Canon T3i. No, I sold that one. So I started on a Canon T3i. I also own, no, I lied. Sorry y'all. I started on a Canon XS. I sold that bad boy. I upgraded to a Canon T3i, and I usually purchase all of my camera bodies on QVC or HSN. Yes, you may pay a little bit more in the long run, but usually I don't have $800 to $1,200 to just drop down on a piece of equipment, so I really do need those quick pay. I need those like 6 easy installments. So I went from the Canon T3i to this, which is the Canon 80D, which I love. It is amazing for video, as you can see, and it's a beast of a camera. I think it's like 24 megapixels. Oh, my favorite part, Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi. I can take a picture and send that bad boy right to my phone, and then I edit right on my phone, and then I put that on Instagram or wherever I need. That is probably my favorite part of that camera, is the Wi-Fi. So that's the Canon 80D. I use that primarily with my 50mm 1.4 lens, which is this right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. There it goes. The Canon 50mm 1.4. I started with the Thrifty Nifty, which is the Canon 1.8, and then I broke that one, and I upgraded to this, and it is amazing. If you are all looking for that amazing background blur, this will help you achieve it. Obviously, there's tons of other lenses for that, but this one retails for about $350, I believe, and it's rock solid, and I've gotten some great photos with it. Let's take a look. What photos have I gotten with it? Boom! Boom! So those are some photos that I took with the 50mm. This is probably the lens that I have on my camera the absolute most. Before that, it was the 35mm that I loved. It was my walk-around lens, but now it's all about the 50mm. The only thing with this is not a zoom lens, which means you're going to have to walk close or walk back. You're going to have to walk around in order to take the picture. You can't just zoom in and out. I actually don't like zoom lenses. The only zoom lens that I have 2 of them. 2 zoom lenses that I am thinking of purchasing once I upgrade my camera, and that's going to be the 24-70, which is a beast, but I think that one retails for like $1,300, and the 70-200, which is probably the best lens I've ever gotten. It's that white long one. I used my friend Ashley's and I fell in love with it. Oh, it's just dreamy. Like, everything that I shot with that thing is just amazing. Actually, this is what we shot with this. I just love the sharpness, the quality. Anyway, I don't have it, so we're not going to talk about it. So we just went through 50mm. I am filming right now with a 24mm. It is a Canon 24mm, and it is a 2.8. And when I say the 2.8, the 2. And the 1.2, 1.4, all those numbers, that is the aperture. That's going to tell you like how wide the camera can open, like how wide the lens can open, if you're going to have that background blur or if everything's going to be in focus. But I'm not going to go into that too deep because I do want to do a full video on just that. I really want to start like a beginner's series for photography because it is tough. And side note, if you are in DC, I will be doing a photo walk soon where I'm going to actually meet you at a location. I'm going to teach you guys how to take your own photos and just the basics of photography because although I Googled everything, sometimes it's really nice to have somebody teach you themselves. So that's what I am going to offer, but you need to go ahead and subscribe below in order to find out when that's going to happen. But anyway, let's keep moving. Although I do have a couple Canon lenses and I do love my Canons, I can't always afford just Canons. So this is, I don't know if you guys can see that. This is a Yongnuo, and I'm probably butchering that, 85mm 1.8. Yeah. 85mm 1.8. This one I absolutely love for portraiture, and I also love it for full outfit photos if I want to get that good background blur. The only problem with this is super slow. very slow. Like, I mean, it's a Youngbo, no offense, but this thing cost me, I want to say $140 or $150 on Amazon, and the Canon 85 is upwards of $400. So I really wanted to test it out, so I bought this bad boy. It hasn't failed me. It's pretty good, but again, it's really slow. Like, to focus on this thing is really, really, really slow, and it is super noisy. Like, you can hear the gears just grinding, but then again, it was under $200, so what do I expect? It takes the photos, I deal with it. Another really important thing that's in my arsenal is my flash, which I've gone through a couple flashes. I've had the Youngwos. I've had 2 Youngwos. Those failed me, so I went and got a newer, I believe that's what it's called. Hopefully you guys can see that. A newer. Again, I would love a Canon Speedlight, but my pockets are not Canon Speedlight worthy at the moment. This is really good for when I do indoor photography, and it also actually works when I do some outdoor. If the lighting is a little off, this is really good at spreading the light. And then I purchased this on Amazon. This was, I'm gonna say maybe like $80, so not too much. And then I purchased the diffuser for like $5, and this just helps to even out the lighting so it's not too harsh. I actually shot Janae once, and I lost this, and I hated how harsh the lighting was. So you guys can actually take a look at those pictures. They are probably up on 10th Letter Visuals, which is our photography page. Oh, here. Anyway, so next in my little arsenal, I have another Youngbo lens. This is a 35mm that I purchased. I purchased this because my Canon 35mm stopped focusing, but I tried it yesterday and it started focusing again, so I have no idea. But this bad boy was my favorite walk-around lens. I just loved it. It was able to get enough of the environment, yet still considered semi-portrait lens, so I really, really enjoyed that. But the focusing stopped on this one too, so I kind of gave up on that. Next, I've got my Joby Gorilla Pod. I wonder if I move closer, can you guys see it? Yep. So, the Joby Gorilla Pod, which I bought it on Amazon, and it broke within like the first time that I used it. I'm kind of upset about it. I emailed Joby, and they were like so ready to get me something else, and then they realized, or I sent them my Amazon receipt, and apparently the seller that I purchased it from is not an authorized seller, because clearly, and I can't get it back. But the reason I don't like this, you see how, I don't know if you can see it right here, it's like really, really loose. It broke. It's not supposed to be that loose, it's supposed to be like hard. And what I love about these is I use it a lot in my self-portraits. I can put it around fences, I can put it around trees, whatever it may be. I love this one. It holds up to, I believe, 9 or 10 pounds, and my camera with its heaviest lens is maybe 7 pounds, so that's something that you need to take a look at when you are purchasing your Joby Gorilla Pod, is to make sure that you know the weight of your gear, so that way it can hold it. I'm so upset about this. Although I still use it, I can use it on the ground. I can't really wrap it around anything. It's just not, like, do you see that? It's just, oh, I'm so mad. So I'm probably going to get another one. This retails, or I got this for about $60. I'm going to definitely take a look at the authorized sellers before I purchase another one. I'm still irritated about that. This is actually something very new in my arsenal. I just got this from Amazon for about $7. Let me actually, it's a very, very small mini tripod. And the purpose of this is when I am using my Canon G7X and I'm going to use it as like for my vlogs, I can just hold it right here. I had another one, but unfortunately I don't know what happened to it. So I would just, put this right here and then walk around with it. It's super easy. Or I can actually use this if I'm just doing like a tabletop. If I'm at my desk and I'm talking to y'all, this is how I would take this picture. Super easy. $7. Best thing ever. Tripod. tripod. Although my really good tripod is still in Jermaine's car, I also have this bad boy that I just purchased from Amazon. This one's nothing. It's not really sturdy, this one. I actually use more so in the bathroom because my tabletop one isn't high enough. So this one I got on Amazon for like 13 bucks or something like that. Aha! So when I take my self-portraits using my iPhone, this is my holder. I don't always use this, but when I do, the pictures is good. So I can actually just stick my iPhone right in here, and you can actually change the orientation. You stick your iPhone in, and it's flat, so you can put it anywhere. Or you can actually, it has the ring. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yep, it has the ring, so you can put it on a tripod. This is way better than those like clampy ones. I don't like those clampy ones. I always feel like my phone's gonna like pop out of it. So I highly recommend this. Again, everything is going to be in the description. I'm going to link everything, and mostly everything you can purchase on Amazon. Last but not least, I actually don't have this on me, but if you follow my Instagram stories, I do talk about it a lot. I do have a little remote. It's about this big, and I leave it in my wallet.